Welcome to Wanderlust and Wishes, the podcast where we explore the world one destination at a time.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Crystal.
As travel agents with Fantastical Vacations, we are here to share our passion for travel and help you turn your wanderlust into reality.
From hidden gems to bucket list adventures, join us as we dive into the sights, sounds, and stories of our favorite destinations.
So grab your passport, pack your bags, and let's embark on this journey together.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 107 of Wanderlust and Wishes. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most fun topics for Disney Cruise Line, at least from my perspective, maybe Crystal's perspective. I'm talking for her. The specialty themed cruises that they add an extra layer to your Disney cruise. And we're going to talk all about Halloween on the High Seas, very Merrytime Cruises, Pixar Day at Sea, and Marvel Day at Sea. We're going to talk about whether these are worth planning around them and going specifically to experience them. One bit of news about Disney Cruise Line that they just dropped this week is that you can now only bring one bottle of wine per guest. So that's a change. It used to be 2 bottles per guest, and now it's 1. The other thing that's changed is that if you purchase alcohol at the port, if you get off the ship and you buy alcohol, when you bring it back on, they're going to hold it. They're not going to let you take it to your room. So anybody that has gone on a Disney cruise and that was something that was a perk for you, they have changed that.
Sneaky little policy changes.
Yeah, they did kind of sneak that in there.
Well, I hate too because they had different language because the Adventure in Singapore, there's a younger drinking age. So it made it more confusing, like the way that they had it worded. All right. So let's dive in. We're going to break down what is included on these specialty cruises, when they sail, which ships offer them, and whether we'd actually change our travel dates to experience one. Spoiler, Julie and I both experienced these. So we do have lots of firsthand experience here.
Yes. So before we jump into the individual cruises, there's one thing to understand about these specialty cruises. There's kind of 2 types of them, and they aren't the same. They aren't quite the same thing.
Some are seasonal sailings that run for weeks or even months at a time, while others are special event cruises where one day of the cruise is built around a specific theme. So your seasonal sailings, I'm going to get tongue-tied by the end of this episode, FYI, include Halloween on the High Seas and your very Merrytime Cruises. The entire ship is transformed for the season. Decorations remain up throughout the sailing. The holiday theme is woven throughout the entire cruise experience. Multiple activities take place over the course of the voyage, and they're offered on multiple ships throughout the fleet.
And these can kind of feel like, especially if you love Walt Disney World or Disneyland during the holidays, during Halloween and Christmas, you love the parties that they have, the decorations. This is something that is almost like an extension of that, just on a Disney cruise. The day at sea events are a little bit different than the seasonal events. These include Pixar Day at Sea and Marvel Day at Sea. And the way this works is the cruise itself is still a regular Disney cruise. They have one designated day that becomes themed around the IP. They have special entertainment, character appearances, and food offerings and activities that are concentrated mostly into that single day. The rest of the cruise operates much like the traditional Disney Cruise Line. I do think you have the characters are still floating around, but for the most part, everything's focused on that day. And it's also usually offered on a single ship or a limited number of sailings.
So think of these ones as more of like a special event that's layered into your cruise rather than a complete ship transformation.
Now that we've covered the 2 types of specialty sailings, let's talk about one of the favorites for Disney Cruise Line fans, Halloween on the High Seas. I actually did a Halloween on the High Seas cruise, and I did love it. Halloween on the High Seas cruises takes place on select sailings during September and October, basically on all of the ships except for the Adventure, which sails on the other side of the planet. So, so basically all of them that sail out of ports from the United States, they have options, and they have 3, 4, and 5 night itineraries. There may be some that are longer, but that's generally going to be the 3, 4, and 5.
One of the reasons these cruises are so popular is because they occur during a time of year that is often less expensive than summer sailings while still offering warm weather destinations. So, some things on board that you will find that make it a little more special are the Halloween tree. This is a signature centerpiece in the atrium. There's a different version on each ship, kind of like the atrium statue is different on each ship. This kind of serves as the focal point of the Halloween experience. You're going to have Mickey's Masquerade Party. This is a family-friendly Halloween deck party, special character appearances, music, dancing. You're encouraged to wear a costume. And then you have trick-or-treating. This is available throughout the ship. This is included with your cruise fare. And then you're also going to have very special Halloween character costumes that are adorable.
Yes, they are. And with the tree, they do a tree lighting on the first night and have like a storyteller that comes out and tells the story behind the tree and then has the tree light up at the end of the story. So that's really fun too. They have all of those things added in. And like Crystal was saying, the characters and their costumes are a lot of people, they just want to go and get a picture with the characters. That is not me. I'm not like I love to see the characters, but I don't have to get a picture with every character on the ship. But the lines were insane to get pictures with the different characters in their costumes. And to be honest, I don't think I saw the Sanderson sisters. I remember that was something that I was going to look for, and I don't think that they were there. They must have been at the Not So Scary Halloween party and didn't come on the cruise.
I was going to say the deck party is where I would expect them to be.
No, they didn't do it. They weren't there. But some additional things that they do crafts. They have seasonal games. So like some of the different games that they do, different game nights that they have on the ship are themed towards Halloween. They have some Halloween themed food and beverages. Obviously, we just talked about the character meet and greets that are specific in their Halloween costumes, special entertainment offerings that are specific to Halloween, and then the storytelling, which I was just telling you about. The storytelling for the lighting of the tree is really neat. They also have exclusive merchandise, which is so hard not to buy literally everything on the ship that is Halloween themed. I struggle with that at the parks as well. So spirit jerseys, shirts, ears, pins, all any any type of collectible like coffee cups, stuff like that. And then ornaments, those types of things. It's very hard, very limited time merchandise. And that's one of the hardest things is that that there's probably not going to be the exact version of whatever it is. Even if you go on another one, in the following year, it's not going to be the same. So you really want to be able to get the version of the Halloween merchandise for whatever it is, year that you are there for that particular cruise.
I would say the specialty merch is what sells out the quickest too, and they usually don't restock them. So if you see something, you get it as early as possible. Don't try and wait on it. You can always take it back and get your money back if you get buyer's remorse later, but there were things that were flying off the shelf for ours. Now that you've done a Halloween on the high seas, would your family choose Halloween on the high seas again over a regular Disney cruise if the itinerary was identical?
I mean, if it's during that time frame, if we're sailing during September and October, then I'm going to do a Halloween on the high seas for sure. Because they do have itineraries during that time that don't have that theming. And I kind of feel like, why would you even go sailing during that time frame if you're not going to go on a Halloween on the high seas cruise? So yeah, I would definitely pick it over a regular itinerary. Okay, so next on the list, is very Merrytime Cruises. These take place during November and December, and like the Halloween on the High Seas cruises, they completely transform the ships into a floating Christmas celebration, basically. And all the ships, except for the Adventure, similar to the Halloween on the High Seas, it's 3, 4, and 5 night sailings with both Caribbean and West Coast sailings. And I think actually I left off for the Halloween on the High Seas. They do have West Coast sailings as well.
So what makes the Christmas Very Merry Sailing special? A big one is the holiday decor, and this isn't limited to just the ships. You will find holiday Christmas decor on Castaway Cay and on Lighthouse Point too. They have trees and special decor on the island, which just makes my heart so happy that they extend it. On the ship, you'll see a massive Christmas tree in the atrium, garland and decorations throughout the ship, seasonal music throughout public spaces. You'll have a tree lighting ceremony. This is a signature experience that you don't want to miss. It helps create that classic holiday atmosphere. There's a special visitor that flies in from the North Pole who will meet and greet guests, and you can get holiday family photos. I think he actually is the one that lights the tree. Like, that's his thing. Again, with the holiday character costumes, I love all the characters in their holiday get up, whether it's Halloween or Christmas. So these are just I love their different outfits. It just
I
makes me
agree.
happy.
I agree. Just because I don't necessarily want to stand in line doesn't mean that I don't love to see them. I love to see them in their costumes when they're doing their little like deck parties and when they are like walking through and meeting people. It's so cute. So some of the other things that happen, there's Mickey and Minnie's holiday celebration. So basically it includes themed deck parties, Christmas music. That's one of the other things. They have Christmas music that's basically playing on the ship the whole time. So I love that. They also have, again, they have the storytelling. So they have the holiday storytelling. They have Christmas crafts and definitely have the seasonal holiday themed food and drinks and just holiday entertainment throughout the sailing. So just the whole ship is transformed for the entire trip. So if you could only choose one seasonal sailing, are you picking Halloween or Christmas?
I love Halloween, but I would pick Christmas because it's already such a magical time of year. And then you add in all the additional magical experiences of Disney and that they extend it to the islands. I feel like Christmas is my jam.
I think that I think I need to experience the Christmas one
Let's go.
for research purposes,
I'm in.
and then we can do a comparison. I think it would be tough for me to choose for sure because I'm actually a Halloween baby, so I love Halloween. It's just a part of my identity. I think that would be really hard for me to choose between the two. But I love the traditions of Christmas and just the overall feeling of the holidays, that like all those emotions and that goes into the atmosphere and just overall the decorations just makes you feel happy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now let's talk about Pixar Day at Sea. This is the one we just experienced. It did return for 2026 and is on schedule for 2027. This is exclusively on the Disney Fantasy on select sailings January through March. It's typically a 5-night Bahamas sailing from Port Canaveral. This is important. The Fantasy has been doing like a 4-night, then 5-night, 4-night. It's only the 5 nights. They need that extra sea day for all the festivities. So unlike Halloween and the Maritime sailings, Pixar Day at Sea is much more limited, making it more unique for Pixar fans. You will see featured franchises like Toy Story, Monsters, Inc., Incredibles, Coco, Inside Out, Finding Nemo. You see different sprinklings of others, but those are the main ones. There are special experiences like the Hey Howdy Hey breakfast. This is a Toy Story inspired breakfast event. Besides the deck party, this is the only place in the world that you can see Bullseye. So if you like to collect your characters, this is where you need to go for Bullseye. It is very hard to get. There is Crush's Totally Awesome Pool Party with games and music and dancing. Edna Mode's Style on Parade. This was very funny. This is a fashion event inspired by The Incredibles in the atrium. Anyone Can Cook. This is a Ratatouille-inspired culinary experience. This was packed every single time. Then there's Pixar Palace Celebration. There's the evening deck party, character appearances, music and entertainment, and even the dinner was special that night when we had the Pixar Palace Celebration.
If you were going again in the same time frame, would you adjust your dates to do a Pixar Day at Sea? Because you mentioned, they flip-flop between the 4-night and the 5-night on the fantasy. Maybe it was better for your dates to do one of the 4 nights. Would you adjust it so that you could do the 5-night Pixar Day at Sea?
If you've never done a Pixar Day at Sea, it is completely worth it. Is it like a repeat experience year after year after year? Maybe every other year? Probably not every year.
Okay. But for a first timer, it's like if you have the option to change it to go.
Definitely go the Pixar Day at Sea. It makes it so fun, especially if you have anyone in your party who's big Pixar. Like, we're huge Pixar people at our house.
Mm-hmm.
So it made it all that more fun.
Yeah. I think it would be great. I would love to do it.
Go listen to Calder's On the Go. It's hilarious.
Oh, yes. It is so precious. It really is. He was so excited. So last but not least is the Marvel Day at Sea. Similar to the Pixar Day at Sea, it's kind of structured the same way. It sails from Galveston, Texas right now during January through March are the sailing timeframes on the Disney Magic. I think I'll probably always have a special place for the Magic because it was my first Disney cruise. So I would love to go back on the ship. This is for 4 and 5-night Western Caribbean sailings. Similar to the Pixar Day at Sea, it has that day that is a special celebration for Marvel characters. So you're going to see characters probably for the entire trip, but your character encounters could be Spider-Man, Captain America, Thor, Loki. I love Loki. I would stand in line to get a picture with Loki. Captain Marvel, Black Panther, the Guardians of the Galaxy characters, and Black Widow. They also have special experiences, the Wakandan warrior training. So this sounds really fun. Interactive training experience. The training is led by members of the Dora Milaje. There's a Captain America USO show. There is Minnie and Mickey's superhero celebration in their superhero-inspired attire. Oh my gosh, how adorable would that be? There's also Marvel Heroes Unite. This is a signature nighttime spectacular that has stunts, effects, and that has the fireworks at sea. And it's hero versus villain storyline.
Would you go to Galveston specifically to experience Marvel Day at Sea?
No. I would not.
There's such a fine line because now the Destiny is out. There are so many Marvel touches on the Destiny, but if you are hardcore and want to see some of those unique characters, I think it's worth the try. We almost did Galveston. It just worked out better logistically. I guess that's the hard part is Port Canaveral is logistically easier for us to get to and deal with. But we're also not hardcore Marvel people.
Right. If you had to rank the 4 different types of cruises from your favorite to least favorite, what would that be?
Oh, man. I'm probably going to put Christmas and Halloween at the top just because they're available on longer sailings. And then Pixar and then Marvel. But like I said, I'm not a big Marvel person. And we've done the Pixar. So I'm ranking it lower because I'd like to do Christmas and Halloween before I do Pixar again.
Yeah. I would put, just because I haven't experienced it yet and I want to, I would put Christmas at the top. And then I would do Halloween as number 2. I would do another one. And then I think Pixar and Halloween are kind of tied a little bit because they're in completely different times of the year. And depending on when I'm going, that would probably be the decision maker for me because I would love to do Pixar. I think that would just be, I'd love it. and then Marvel's last. Like you, like I don't have a problem with Marvel. I like Marvel. I love Loki. Like I would seriously stand in line. If you guys have been listening for a while, you know I'm going to pick a villain 100% of the time. That's going to be my favorite. And so I love Loki. He would probably be the one reason that I would go, but I could also go to Disneyland to get a picture with him. So that would be my ranking. Last discussion point. If Disney announced a brand new Day at Sea event, which of the following would you choose? So there's Disney Villains Day at Sea, Disney Princess Day at Sea, Frozen Day at Sea, or for them to bring back the Star Wars Day at Sea.
I think this would depend on who I was going with, because I think it would be so fun to do a Frozen Day at Sea in like the Norway fjords. Could you
Yes.
imagine?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I also think it would be cool if they had like a Disney Villains Day at Sea, like on the Destiny, because they already have a bunch of the heroes and villains and they could just like play it up even more. I think Calder would love a Star Wars Day at Sea, and they had all the stuff from the Galactic Star Cruiser, and people loved the Star Wars Day at Sea. I don't know why they don't do it. Maybe they will when they get more ships out.
Yeah, I don't know why they removed it either.
But then even my girls would love a Princess Day at Sea. Like if they had some of the like the not so popular ones or brought out like their sidekicks. Could you imagine Ariel up on the pool deck in her like
Oh my gosh.
element?
Yeah.
Like how amazing would that be?
Yeah. Kids would go nuts.
So I like them all for different reasons. I'm probably leaning towards Frozen just because I want to do the Norway fjords one.
I'm 100% going to pick villains. Maybe a close second would be Star Wars. I think that would be fun, especially if they had really sprinkled in like all the different characters. So they had some of the OG characters, but then they also had some of the newer ones that they've brought in across the different movies and the different theories that they put out on Disney Plus. I think that would be a fun experience. To kind of wrap up, I think specialty cruises could be for anyone, but obviously, if you are a very big fan of Marvel or Pixar, going on one of those cruises would be amazing if you have someone in your family that absolutely loves it, or if you love it. I think I mentioned earlier that the holiday cruises or the seasonal cruises are kind of like an extension of the parks at the holidays. So if you love Halloween or Christmas at Walt Disney World or at Disneyland and you're looking for a cruise, and I would absolutely, I mean, I loved the Halloween on the High Seas cruise and absolutely would love to experience a Christmas cruise. I think for me, it would be finding one that's not so expensive, because that time of year is so expensive to go on a cruise, like period, because everybody's cruising around that time. That's one of the things people like to do. And so, yeah, just like finding one that's not so expensive. And I'm sure that the cruises are completely packed full of people.
I also think they're very good to consider if you've sailed before, like
Mm-hmm.
2, 3 times, and want to switch up your experience. This is a great way to do that. If you've
That's very true. That's a good point.
never done one of the specialty ones, like this is a great way to make it new and fresh again.
Very good point.
So all this to say, there really isn't a wrong choice. These sailings already include everything Disney Cruise Line is known and loved for, but the themed experiences add just that little extra layer of magic that can make an already memorable vacation feel even more special. If you would like to book one of these, just a reminder, all of our Disney cruisers get us extra onboard credit as a thank you for booking with us. We love to cruise. We love to sprinkle that little magic with the onboard credit. Everybody gets it, that you can use for maybe that specialty merch that you're on the fence about. Like, this is your push.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like an extra little treat to spend on something that maybe you weren't expecting to have. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening this week. I am currently in Disney World with my family. So if you're not already following along, follow along at Dorso Mouse Adventures. on Instagram and also on TikTok, and Wanderlust and Wishes on Instagram. I will try my very best to continue posting and also have enough content for an on-the-go bonus episode. We'll see if I hold up my end of the bargain on that one.
I'm excited to hear everything that you guys get into.
Yeah, I think we're going to have also just a follow-up episode with my girls to talk about it. We hope everyone has a fantastic week, and we'll chat with you all next week. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Wanderlust and Wishes.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform.
And remember, the world is full of wonders waiting to be explored. Until next time, happy travels.
Bye for now.